Hey, welcome to the Madmen of Wrestling. I'm Jake,
I'm Victor.
and on today's show, we'll be talking about WWE Backlash.
Oh, well, this is going to be interesting to
Yeah.
talk about. This was some kind of show.
It wasn't the best show, I'll put it that way.
Uh,
There were some highlights, but there were a lot of low.
Well, I guess you could say there was a lot of backlash.
Yeah, according to things I've read, yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody was happy with this one.
No, it was not that.
So you want to get into it?
Sure, let's get right into it.
So Backlash is the first co-branded show.
Yeah, the first,
for WWE in this
first,
year.
Besides WrestleMania,
Well, yeah.
Rumble, the greatest Royal Rumble, but yeah, the first co-branded.
So this show was taking place in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Usually
good crowds out there.
It was good crowd. It seemed like at first.
Mm-hmm.
The attendance was 14,724 according to WWE.
Good turnout.
What did you think of the opening recap video for presenting Backlash?
I mean, it was there.
It was there.
Yeah. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, hype you up. But they're always good at doing their videos, their
presentation,
either pre-match videos or pre-show videos. So they're good at that.
All right. Well, then let's start off with the kicker is going to be The Miz and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, first, before we start off, look back at our predictions.
Oh, okay. I don't remember, honestly.
I remember.
Okay.
You got 5 right, and I got 5 right, but a different 5, So it was like, hey, I think there was like 9 matches.
So it was a tie.
Pretty much a tie, yeah. I think the pre-show was.
See, that I didn't catch.
Yeah, it was Ruby Riott won that one. I don't know how. I didn't watch the pre-show match either, but she won it, and I predicted her. So
okay.
That was
all right.
All right, so let's get started.
All right, so The Miz and Seth Rollins.
I thought this was like I said, I thought this was going to be the show stealer.
It was. This match, I loved this match. Every second of it, every bit of it was absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. This crowd, from the start, I thought they were freaking awesome. They were into it and they loved everything.
No, yeah,
they were hot the whole time.
It was a hot start. Great opening match. I thought it was a good choice.
Did you see that springboard? When he went for the springboard and Miz kicked him in the face.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Because Miz is awesome.
He spiked him with a good DDT too in that match.
There was like the one where he's on his knees.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. That frog splash that Seth did was just super far.
And it was kind of good, far and good. The best thing that I was thinking about was, how we knew, like, basically Seth Rollins was going to win because Miz is on SmackDown and Rollins is on Raw, and there's no point in having another secondary title on SmackDown. But they really did throw us off, or try to throw us off a little bit by having Miz hit 2 skull-crushing finales.
Did you think for 1 second that he was going to win?
No. But it's nice to maybe even get like an inkling of a thought of, he might win.
Yeah.
Like the first one, okay, I knew he was going to kick out. The second one, I was like, he hit another one. Maybe he'll win. Nope, kick out.
Yep.
But no, those were good false finishes.
I think a lot of the stuff that Miz did in this match was he did a lot of heel stuff. I noticed that he, being the veteran, getting out of the ring.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Sorry. Yeah, I had an itch. How about the Miz doing the figure 4 on him? And I just love the selling between these two during the figure 4, and you see a reversal.
A prolonged hold.
Haven't seen that in the figure 4 in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was cool.
Everything in this match was well done. I mean, Seth Rollins is a great in-ring competitor. Miz can hold his own with his character and his in-ring work.
Yeah.
So
there was
those two things together, and it was a great match.
The finishing parts of this match I liked was Here in my notes I took. Rollins went for a quesadilla and the Miz reverses into a skull crushing finale.
Yeah.
That was cool. The suplex from the Falcon Arrow and Miz reverses into a skull crushing finale.
Exactly.
That was awesome.
That was a good finish.
Yeah, and then
finishes.
the very end of the match, the finish here, we saw Seth go for the double stomp.
Yeah.
And then Miz goes for an O'Connor roll, and he kicks out, and then Miz goes for a schoolboy, kicks out, and goes for this curb stomp.
Yeah.
For the finish, that was.
There's one day I want to see Seth Rollins do like a super curb stomp off the top rope or something.
Oh, you're gonna murder somebody.
But it's gonna look cool.
Yeah, I think the coolest one that I've seen was at WrestleMania versus Orton.
The one where he didn't hit the.
Well, he did. Well, yeah, where he goes for the RKO.
The best one is where he didn't hit it.
Yes. So
no, but that was an awesome. If we're talking about RKOs, that was an awesome RKO.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the notes that I took for this match. I loved this one. I thought it was the best match on the whole show.
Very great match.
We have Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax.
It was a very slow match. We both predicted Nia Jax would win, and we both got it correct.
They kept going with this bullying story.
That's all they have right now. I mean, Alexa Bliss, like Nia Jax.
She represents people that are different.
Besides that, we really have nothing to grab onto, as you know, seeing her as a face. So they have to play it up, and this match was slow for me. It wasn't terrible.
What do you think about Alexa Bliss's Moment of Bliss promos?
No, they're good. They're very good. She's very good at.
She was trying to play the victim.
Yeah.
And make it seem like Nia's the bully.
No, which works for her character. And
this match I thought was different too. Because it seemed like some of the beginning was mostly Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Nia Jax just to squash her.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better to have her squash her either at WrestleMania or here. Probably at WrestleMania it would have been better for her to get squashed.
She was slapping her a lot in the face.
Yeah.
I was trying to put stuff aside, her being smaller because the size difference, and I was like, she's got a lot of the upper hand in this one. How is she keeping her down and all this kind of stuff?
Well,
but you know,
underhanded ways.
Yeah.
Like, didn't she do a DDT off the steps?
She did.
Yeah.
I almost forgot that one. I didn't write it down because to me it wasn't too notable.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did write it down.
That's one of the ways she was able to keep her down. So, other underhanded heel tactics like kicking legs.
What about her going for the bonsai drop and then she pushed her out of the ring? That looked nasty.
That did.
The finish. Her catching her from the Twisted Bliss?
The Twisted Bliss, yeah. And she caught her and then performed her Samoan drop to get the victory. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible match.
Yeah, no, it was all right.
Very slow. I thought Alexa got way too much offense. And then the speech afterwards was just...
I was just about to ask you.
Cringe-worthy. I mean, Nia Jax is trying to speak from the heart, and it was just totally scripted, it sounded...
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And it turned into a Be a Star commercial.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad that you saw that because Michael Cole even cut her off and just promoted the Be a Star thing.
Yeah, so I think the crowd saw through that. We saw through that.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that.
It was just like, if you're going to do a Be a Star commercial, make it an actual commercial and not a promo after a match. After a slow... methodical match, you know?
Yeah.
And plus she doesn't have enough juice behind her to have people listen to her while she's doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what next do you think for her?
Nia Jax?
Yeah.
You know what? She'll probably take on the Riot Squad. I think once you go from the bully, you move on to the numbers. She should have stayed a heel. Yeah,
because I mean, if they're talking about her being the irresistible force or whatever, she's got to be a monster like Braun Strowman.
I think she should have stayed a heel. it's hard to get behind her because she's so dominating, or
Right.
she can be, and it's just, I don't know. And her character is not really well built to where we're like, ooh, she has nice catchphrases. Let's get behind her.
I mean, I was behind her for a while, but I mean, I must have not been watching, but all of a sudden she's a face and
I think you were behind her because she was a good heel.
She was.
And people of our
I mean, you look at her; she's huge, and she the way she throws around Alexa Bliss, the smaller of the two, and then at WrestleMania when she's just,
you know what I heard out of that? She's huge.
Huge?
Yeah, you said she's huge.
Huge?
Huge.
Oh.
And then it's not really a flattering remark for a woman.
No, you're right.
She's very strong.
No, well, I meant that in a good way, I guess, because I said, I was trying to compare her to
Tell your
Braun
girlfriend
Strowman.
that, hey, I think you're really huge, but in a good way, and see what she says about that.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyways.
Moving on. Let's move on.
She's very strong, and because we're fans of wrestling, we appreciate a good heel and what makes a good heel. And I know I thought that she made a better heel than she does a face.
I mean, if you're a monster.
Yeah, monster heel. I just called her a monster.
Oh my gosh. Whatever. Just kidding. Moving on. They went from that to a backstage interview with Samoa Joe.
I thought that was a good promo.
I thought so too. You could hear the fans cheering for him right away before he even said anything. And then once he was done, they were behind him from the moment he came on screen.
That promo made me eager for that match. Until I realized he was fighting Roman Reigns. And then I was like, nah.
Whatever. Yeah. The next match is Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy.
It served its purpose.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I wouldn't say it was a great match. I wouldn't say it was a terrible match. It had its high spots.
Yeah. You know, I think Tom Phillips said that in the match, this was the first time that they've wrestled in 10 years.
Well, yeah, Jeff Hardy hasn't been.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's notable. I think that
then they were on different brands.
Yeah, I think that's something that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Jeff Hardy fights somebody from the old school, it'll be the first time in a long time that they fought.
Right, I don't know.
It was like when he fought Shelton Benjamin on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled for this match. I wasn't looking forward to it at all. Yeah. It was just there. Yeah. But, you know, with all the talent that they have now, you don't see guys that have been here for a long time or have been around for a long time go against each other like this. So, you know, when they started stating facts like the 10 years thing and then all their background and stuff like that, you kind of, you know, remember like, oh, they're
It's good to know that there's a lot of history.
Exactly.
When two wrestlers fight.
Exactly.
Like I said, this match served its purpose. Finish saw Jeff Hardy hitting a potato sack of Swanton.
Oh, I know.
Ouch.
Man, you're ready to move on out of here.
No, well, there's just one more point I wanted to bring up. But, yeah, he potato sacked him hard. I mean, how... his Swantons are looking like they're getting worse.
Well, you either hit good and it looks nice, or he sandbags him, or he misses.
Yeah.
And it's just his neck.
I bet you Randy Orton was like, dick.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, probably. Are there any notes on that match you wanted to talk about?
I mean, nothing specific on the match. I just wanted to talk about the wrestlers. Like, Randy Orton, I forget how good he is. I mean, he's not
like super entertaining like most.
I think it's only because he hasn't had nothing good to do.
He is a good,
and he's a babyface.
Good wrestler. His style of wrestling is geared more towards the heel. So I think him wrestling his type of match as a heel would probably be better. I would think. So
yeah. We saw another springboard that Jeff tried to do in this match, and Randy Orton drop kicked him and knocked him off. I thought that was cool.
That was a good spot.
Orton's drop kicks are always nice.
They're nice, yeah. They haven't really gone down while his age goes up. Still has a pretty good drop kick.
Been talking about the crowd throughout this show so far. There was some Rusev chants during this match.
Well, there is going to be when the crowd's not engaged with what they're seeing, there's going to be some boredom chance.
You think that this match was boring? Were you
No,
tuning in
well,
and out?
I just think the audience wasn't engaged in it. I'm not saying I wasn't. I'm just saying the audience wasn't.
Right, I know, but you know we are the audience, and I was just wondering, like, whether
No, it was
you
good,
or not.
but
you
I was watching it because I wanted to see if Orton would, go heel.
Right.
And I was like, I needed something to happen in that match.
Right.
It didn't, but well, maybe down the road it might.
Yeah. Jeff hit. He actually hit the Whisper in the Wind in this match.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It actually looked nice,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's all due because of Orton, and it has to do with the person that's taking it.
I think Orton made a little bit extra effort to get in front of it too.
Yeah. Well, you already went to that sandbag.
Yeah. What do
thing.
you think about that?
I went, oh my god!
Said,
every time I see that, it's just like, what an asshole. I don't know if it's his fault or what, but just sometimes it's just like, oh god.
Yeah. It was pretty heavy looking. But
well,
Jeff
that
got
was
the
that.
1, 2, 3 probably, and his Orton
Couldn't breathe.
had broken ribs.
So after this, we have the segment with Elias.
Oh, that was a great segment.
How long did that go? That was
for
a while.
At first, it was him setting himself up to sing. New Day came out.
This was longer than I thought it was going to be.
And then he was going to set himself up again. And then Rusev came out with Aiden English. To Rusev
started
Day
singing.
Chants. Yeah. And then he reset. And then, No Way Jose came out with Breezango and Titus World Slide. And a bunch of Adam Rose rejects. So
His big old giant conga line.
yeah, and then he reset, and then Bobby Roode came out and gave him a glorious DDT.
You know what? This whole segment was entertaining to me.
It was very entertaining.
I laughed. I thought it was cool with him singing.
Yeah.
Every time he does this performance and when he introduces himself,
Yeah.
It reminds me of him or someone at an AA meeting.
Hello,
I'm
my
like,
name is
yeah,
Elias,
exactly.
I'm gonna sing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Elias has his character down.
Oh yes,
He looks
does.
very comfortable doing his shtick.
Mm-hmm.
And that can only mean good things for him. I mean, once you get to know your character and know what you can do and how to control the crowd,
Yep.
which Elias does well. You see the part where he was going to walk out and then he walked back and then walked out.
Oh yeah, but that's easy. He's gonna
But still,
come back.
not everybody.
No, yeah, right.
Not everybody could pull that
Yeah,
off. With a crowd. Just ask Roman Reigns. He's garbage.
Yeah. The new I thought it was cool with everybody having some sort of like music type deal going on, like with the New
Day had
yes, Francesca.
Yeah, the Francesca. Aiden English was
2.
the singer of Rusev
Right.
Day.
Fandango being his little
No Way Jose coming out.
Yeah.
Because he dances.
Yeah.
So everything was very musical
Yeah.
in that.
So the payoff
sequence.
being Bobby Roode giving him a DDT. What do you think of Bobby Roode dancing?
The booty pop, booty popping.
Yeah.
I don't like booty popping on Bobby Roode.
I didn't know that Bobby Roode could even dance or be anything like that.
Glorious. Of course he can.
You're right.
Booty popping all the way up the ramp.
Yeah. Well,
I'm surprised they didn't start throwing out some money, some
pancakes.
ones or pancakes. I mean, maybe he would have ate some. Who knows?
All right. Well, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass is next.
Yes. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. I had Daniel Bryan winning. You had Big Cass. I could see an argument for both, but anything you want to talk about in this match?
A few things, not too many. We have the recap for the match.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't know. The recap is just Big Cass and him being injured and the whole fight for a dream thing.
Yeah.
And just keep going and. I think it was good, for Big Cass being a heel and wanting to stay relevant.
That's true.
Yeah,
it was classic big guy, little guy match.
Mm-hmm. I thought the New Jersey crowd definitely was behind Daniel Bryan in this one over the fans at WrestleMania, so you were right on this one.
Yeah, so crowds was going to be hot for Daniel Bryan. They usually are. Uh, yeah, it was a very, like I said, big heel, little underdog match.
You know, sometimes I don't realize how long guys are out when they're injured, but Big Cass was gone since August.
He was gone for a while, a good chunk of time.
I liked how Big Cass. The one thing I liked about Big Cass was him coming down when he came down to the ring.
Yeah.
Just pure confidence on this guy's face the whole way to the ring.
Especially when you're a heel.
Yeah.
Like a big, dominating heel, like he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Not only that, like you said, big guy, just like Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
The size difference between these two.
It was
monumental. So Big Cass being confident and walking down to the ring like he did, just it's good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good match. The ending was Daniel Bryan put him in the yes lock.
Yep. Oh, I liked how Corey Graves was like, "Oh yes, the famous it kicks."
Oh yeah, Corey Graves. Always gotta love Corey Graves.
Well.
Yeah. And I thought it was good where you tried to lock him into the yes lock, but Big Cass was kind of fighting out. But then he gave him the stiff forearms to the face to get it in, and when he pulled back on it, it looked really like he wrenched it back.
Yep.
So it was no surprise when you saw Big Cass tap out, and Daniel Bryan got his win, but Big Cass kept his heat.
Yeah. This is beatdown, nasty beatdown on Daniel Bryan after the match. Fans were so upset on him doing that, which is understandable. Definitely keeps the heat on him.
That's what he needed to do. He get the loss, but retain the heat. You got to do an after match beatdown.
And I like how everybody was behind this and not liking Big Cass for doing this. Even the commentary team definitely talking about how he's a coward or whatever, and talking about how he's a sore loser. Definitely like that they went like this route with Big Cass, because him complaining and talking about all this stuff about him being just like Daniel Bryan and all that kind of jazz isn't enough.
No, you gotta
to keep him.
You gotta get some physicality.
Yep.
So yeah, the ending was good.
Yeah, I like that, too, because we didn't even see that backstage attack on Daniel Bryan the week prior. So him doing this at Backlash and all that, definitely like this one.
No, it was very great, good match, serviceable.
So what'd you think of? We have the women's title match next. SmackDown women's title. Excuse me.
Women's title. It was alright. Didn't really set me afire. I had Charlotte winning, and you had Carmella winning. So I don't know. That match was kind of just there.
Yeah, I didn't think that. You said it's either she's a placeholder champion.
Yeah.
For Charlotte, and I didn't think that. Honestly, I don't think that. I think that she's good. I think she's a shit talker.
Yeah.
I think she's good at what she does. She's an all right wrestler. She's not bad. I don't think that she was a placeholder champion, and it showed here in this one, her retaining. The recap video that they showed, just her being cocky and all that she did.
The only reason I thought she was she was going to be a placeholder champion is just the fact that Charlotte was so dominating in her and winning at WrestleMania, beating Asuka and ending her streak. So I think that's why I thought Carmella's win on the next SmackDown Live was a one-off kind of thing, where she had the Iconics beat her down. She came in, scooped up the victory, got the title. So I thought, Charlotte's gonna come back, get her belt.
I don't know.
But yeah, the ending saw Charlotte going for a moonsault.
Oh yeah. She landed on her feet and she started selling the leg.
Yeah. So. And then Carmella kicked it.
Yeah, she kicked it. And that was it. that was this odd finish. I thought it was strange.
And just to consider, like at WrestleMania, she had leg problem or arm problems, arm problems, and she was able to beat Asuka.
Yeah,
yeah. With
I think
bad arm, but she couldn't kick out.
I had read this somewhere, like, oh, if Carmella could beat Charlotte, like this, then she could beat Asuka.
Yeah,
but that's not gonna happen
with that kind of science.
Yeah,
math and shit.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. You know, she's got an injured leg, and she rolls her up, but how does that affect her from kicking out?
True.
I mean, I guess the pain, but
I guess, or maybe she's just like.
I don't know.
I really don't.
I wasn't too much into this one. The fans didn't seem like they were too much into
like I said,
it.
it was
nothing special.
But I heard that Charlotte has some injuries, like real life injuries.
Oh, yeah, it's a shoulder or something like that.
Oh, no, I heard she had a ruptured implant or something.
That's what it was.
So
that's exactly what it was.
So that would explain why Carmella went over in this match. You know?
You never know if that's the reason
because why. Charlotte needs to fix these things.
Well, yeah, but...
And she's going to be out of action for, I don't know, maybe a month.
You're right, but it doesn't mean that she would have won this one. If that was the original
plan.
No, but
why have her win and become the champion?
No, I'm not saying that...
her around.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we don't know that was the plan.
I'm pretty sure that it would be the plan. Because she had that ruptured implant before even WrestleMania. So I'm pretty sure that's probably the plan.
I don't work for them, so I don't know. Well, I don't know what their deal is.
It's only hearsay and
well, I heard that I heard that she had her surgery recently, like yesterday or something.
Yeah, so probably that's why she's going to be out of action for a while, and you don't want to have two champions out for a long time.
Yeah.
One being Brock Lesnar, who wrestles super part-time.
Yeah.
So a quick fact about Brock Lesnar. He's coming up on CM Punk's longest reign in modern.
Don't even get me started, dude.
Just real quick. And I heard some fact like in CM Punk's title reign, he had like 140 title defenses.
Yeah, it was.
And then Brock Lesnar in his title reign only had 10 title defenses.
Yeah, there was that many title defenses, and then there was 100 and some. I don't know.
No, it was like a ridiculous amount.
I had it somewhere on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't have it right in front of me, but the number of how many house shows that CM Punk did was a lot. And Brock Lesnar,
that's where he got most of those title defenses were on.
Right. And then how many house shows that Brock's done?
Like
4.
Yeah, something like that.
The number is outrageous.
Yeah.
The difference between these two, and he's coming up on maybe 34 days left.
Yeah. But, I mean, some would argue that makes that championship more valuable when you see it defended less.
I can agree with that to a point.
Oh, yeah, to a point. Like I said.
Also,
but it doesn't go for him being a very good champion if he only defended it. Compared to CM Punk. But that was off topic. So
you see, I told you not to get me started.
So we're gonna go back to
we'll do this on another episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more on another time.
All right, we'll talk about that on another episode. Yeah. Anyways, we have Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in a no DQ match. Excuse me.
Which surprised me that it came on so early.
I know. I was like, wait.
But when the finish happened, it kind of explained it to me.
This is the 6th match on the show with 2 more after this.
2 more matches after that. So let's talk about the match. Anything you want to talk about?
Well, talking about this being the 6th match on the card and not the main event like it should be.
Let's talk about that after the match.
Well, you want to talk about the match specifically?
Let's talk about the match first, and then we'll talk about you being disgruntled that it came on so early.
All right. So I think that this was a better match than the previous 2. I liked that Nakamura's a heel. I like how he's cocky.
Yeah.
I like how he's confident. I think he had this match was very physical.
as no DQ matches should be.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too many like weapons and stuff involved like you would think be in a no DQ match, but this was definitely physical. There was a lot of counters. I thought it was funny because I mentioned this twice already on the previous matches.
Yeah.
From Orton and then Orton and Jeff and Rollins and Miz, but there was another counter to a springboard in this match. On the barricade when he tried to springboard and he kicked him and he landed on the thing. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
So don't do any springboards.
Well, there was a couple of things through this match.
Well, I was going to talk about the low blow into a low blow.
Well, that's the ending. I didn't get there yet.
That's the double low blow.
Oh, where he low blows him.
So
and then
when Shinsuke low blowed AJ Styles and he looked like he was going to put him out.
Well, that's towards the end.
Well, what do you got?
I got a few stuff from this match.
Well, then spit it out.
Where he was kicking him when he was in the ropes and he started kicking him in the face and the chest.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I have a few other notes. Their exchanges that he does. AJ.
Yeah.
Just his chops and shit like that. They went back and forth, and
was that good?
Yeah. The chair.
Oh, the chair. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah. So when Shinsuke was going for the Kinshasa, and then AJ popped the chair up into his knee, into Shinsuke's knee, but then it bounced right off of his knee back into AJ Styles' face.
It was like bam, bam.
And then busted his cheek open.
I was wondering, I was like, wait, how did he get busted open? And I had to go back.
No, I knew right away.
Because I had missed it. It went so fast, and then they showed the replay.
As soon as I saw the blood, I remember hearing the bam, and I know I heard the bam after that.
Like twice?
And I know that hit AJ Styles in the face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was unfortunate for AJ Styles. Good spot, unfortunate outcome to that spot. But that just sold the hatred he has for Shinsuke right now. And then the stipulation sold it too.
To your low blows, your double low blows, I think that this match, everybody seemed like they was into it this whole time. The whole match, everybody seemed into it. When he low blowed him, and then they were like, they low blowed each other.
And then he low blowed Shinsuke right back. That was good.
It was great. I liked it too, and I think the whole fans enjoyed it.
Like I said, it was a better match than the previous two. I feel like each match is building better and better. The only thing I didn't like about this match was the finish.
You did? Okay, hold on.
No, I liked what resulted in the finish, but I didn't like the finish.
Okay, so before we get to we talk about the actual finish.
All right.
Mania, and they've been kind of just playing it on SmackDown. I wasn't really like about it because I feel like they was overdoing it much. Okay. But with this match being so good, and like I said, being better than the previous two, I think it added to the story that they were trying to tell.
Especially when it's no DQ.
Right. So I liked it. Like I said, the fans really were into it, and then once it got to the finish of them low blowing each other and getting the count out, I wanted everybody who just seemed so disappointed.
Well, yeah, you want to see a finish. The previous match, there wasn't a finish.
So
why do you want to see? When people thought, okay, greatest Royal Rumble, there wasn't a finish. It was a double DQ or double count out.
Okay.
So they're gonna have the rubber match at Backlash. People were expecting to see a finish now.
Okay.
Why would you have another, especially in a no DQ match? Why would there be a non-finish in a no DQ match?
So that's why you don't like it. Didn't like the finish.
I like the fact. Now, okay, if this was the second match in their series, I would have been fine with it.
Okay.
Okay, but because the previous match had a no finish.
Okay.
And this match, which was a no DQ match, and when you hardly ever see non-finishes in no DQ matches. Hardly ever.
Okay.
So when the double groin kick, which I thought was amazing, it was awesome, ended in both of them getting counted down, it fell flat for me. I mean, I wanted to see a finish. I wanted to see either AJ put Shinsuke away or Shinsuke beat AJ and win the title.
Yeah, I definitely thought that Nakamura was going to walk away with the title in this one.
Yeah.
As far as the finish goes, I was disappointed also. I'm not saying that I didn't...
No, the match was great. I'm not saying...
Right.
I'm not discrediting the match at all.
Right.
I'm just saying
I know.
The
we're,
finish...
Right, we're talking about the finish here, okay? The match was good. We're talking about the finish now.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you didn't like it, right?
The finish.
Yeah. So... I'm not saying that I liked it. I'm not saying that I was happy with it, because I was upset and I was shocked that that's how it ended, and I was a little disappointed. But I'm not heated like it seems like everybody else is. And I've seen people say again, like last year or the year before that, when people said, "Oh, I'm gonna cancel my network subscription."
When people say that stuff, that's just going too far, and they're not gonna cancel.
No, they're not. And it just seemed like
people to say that is just dumb.
It is dumb, and I've seen quite a few people already online saying, "I'm done with WWE." You know how many times that I've said that shit?
A lot.
A lot. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like, but you're gonna keep watching and see where the story goes.
Yeah.
And the point is it's entertainment. It's television.
Yeah, it's basically a soap opera.
Right. And
it's parts of a story leading to something more, which in turn turns into another story.
Exactly. So. And that's why I wasn't too upset, you know. And to your point, I was gonna tell you. Yeah, I agree. If this was a second match in the series of these two, then I would have been fine. But at the same time, it kind of is, because like we said on the last one, for the Greatest Royal Rumble, that was just like a show to do in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't something planned.
Yeah, but it was still a show that they broadcast.
I guess.
It's just, if it was a house show that no one saw, it wouldn't matter. But people saw it.
Yeah.
Even though it was out of canon, it was still, we saw it.
See, but that's the way I'm looking at it. Because you know how many times that they've done stuff, special events outside of the country that wasn't aired, but it was a big deal?
Yeah, but this one was aired.
I don't know.
It was a pay-per-view.
Well, basically. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I'm looking at it like this wasn't part of the story. This was just an event that they were doing.
But they did show it, and we saw it, and we reviewed it.
I'm not trying to argue.
I'm not arguing either, but I'm just saying I see your point. I see my point, and I just didn't like the finish. I like the match. Didn't like the finish.
But I guess I can see where it's going with that. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping that if they fight at Extreme Rules.
I think the only reason why is they don't want to hurt one another as far as the character.
Well, that's why you do it in a way that won't hurt them.
How would you do it?
Interference.
By who? Oh, well, the club, I guess.
Or the club, or you have interference, or you have Shinsuke go way hard.
But how are you going to have interference with... I mean, somebody has to go
Well, they have to set up the interference first. They never set up the interference. That's fine. Well, there's other ways where Shinsuke does super underhanded stuff. That doesn't hurt AJ Styles if Shinsuke like hits him with a foreign object that he didn't see or something, you know?
I don't know.
There's different ways to not hurt somebody.
See, I don't know.
And get the other person over still.
I've seen a lot of stuff online about people complaining, bitching, and not liking this whole thing. It's pro wrestling, dude.
Okay. Well, then don't take it out on me then.
I'm not taking it out on you. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I feel like. I feel like you're using me as a punching bag and you're seeing their faces.
Well, I'm kind of moving to a different point here. I'm not trying to use you as a punching bag. It's just what we were talking about previously. Whatever. I was just gonna say, because you know how many times back in the day where the internet was barely coming around, or it wasn't really a place for people to vent.
Unfortunately, now we live in an era where there's internet.
I guess. And I don't know.
The times have to change. Just like
but people can't always get what they want.
And I'm not saying people should get what they want, but in the storyline context, it was time to give an ending to it. I think.
You think so? You think it was time? How many times have we had stories go longer than this with the same two guys?
Well, as long as they're good matches. Some of these matches haven't been good. You know? If they're great matches, of course we want to see more. But these matches have left a lot to be desired. I mean, this third one was barely, scratching the surface of what they're capable of. You know? The Greatest Royal Rumble match was okay.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania was okay. They're not setting the place on fire.
Right.
So, I mean, people want to see a finish already. Or give us better matches.
Yeah. I read something funny.
What?
Somebody, I'm not taking credit for this, somebody said that this match should have played out and finished at Great Balls of Fire.
If that pay-per-view still existed, then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyways, let's move on from this.
Let's proceed.
So
it was a double count out.
Yeah.
We both, I guess we both lost that pick because we both picked Shinsuke.
Whatever. We have the Raw tag match.
Raw tag match. Which was
Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley versus Sammy and KO.
Again, I was like, I'm waiting for something to happen. And it doesn't happen. I felt like that for the whole show. Like, I'm waiting for something big to happen, something I could grab onto and enjoy. Whether it was a heel turn by Randy Orton, whether it was Shinsuke winning the championship, whether it was in this match, possibly Bobby Lashley turning on Braun Strowman. I mean, but this match was just like a basic Raw tag team match on Raw.
Intermission?
Yeah, it was just there was nothing really good. Bobby Lashley's lame suplex finisher, where he's like, "Hey, give me some. I can hold it here for. Oh no, I gotta drop it because he's falling." I mean,
like you said, it seemed like it was a basic tag match.
And they tried to add drama with
Sammy and
some
KO.
turmoil between Sami
Zayn
and Kevin Owens. I mean, that didn't work for me because I'm tired of them bickering at each other. Whether they were enemies and now they're friends, they're still bickering with each other, and it's.
You think that friendship is gonna end? How long has this been going on now?
Oh wow! But I hope it doesn't. I mean, they're good together. They just need to be booked better.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
it's funny. People aren't dumb, man.
Yeah.
People aren't dumb. They know that they were better on SmackDown.
They were.
And now they're doing basic tag matches on Raw, and they're doing
losing.
They're losing. You know what? Even too, I think they got the pin on Kevin Owens, and he wasn't even the legal man.
True, but hey, when you need to end the match, you need to end the match.
I guess.
I mean, Sammy and KO can use that, but I don't know if they will or not. But again, like I said, it was just a basic Raw tag team match. The face team went over. The dominating, muscle-bound face team went over. They really, I mean, in that context, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens really had no shot at winning that match.
No way. Not with it being Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
Heck
I mean,
no.
Braun Strowman hasn't taken a pin loss in a long time.
Nope.
Bobby Lashley just came back. He's not taking a pin loss.
Yep.
So the only way I saw it, like I said, was Bobby Lashley turning heel on Braun Strowman, causing the loss.
Right.
And that would give them both something to do. Give Bobby Lashley something to grab onto.
If these two,
more exciting.
I want to see how, if these two go against each other.
Yeah.
I want to see how it plays out because, like you said, it would have been a good point to start that here.
Yeah.
And get KO and Sammy
I
to
mean,
win.
they might have that planned down the road, but like I said, this show needed something to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So, yeah. I think you had Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley winning that match.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because I was expecting something to happen.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you expect.
All right. So we have Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe in the main event.
The main event, which I thought shouldn't have been the main event.
It should not have been.
But because of the championship finish, where if they were planning for that to be a double count out, I could see why they put it on earlier. Because you don't want to end a pay-per-view show with a double count out groin kick.
I don't know about that.
No, I mean,
you
knowing the alternative now, the booze and the walking out of the main event.
So in hindsight, you think that it should have been the opposite? Those matches should have switched?
No.
No?
No. Even
either way, the fans are still upset.
Well, it's gonna happen, but it whatever.
So,
I think in the long run, this will help the people that don't like Roman Reigns. I think this needed to happen in order for people's eyes to be opened.
No, I agree with you.
So anyway, but knowing the finish of the championship match, I understand why they put it on.
I don't think that's the reason why. I don't think that's the reason why that they put it on.
No, I know. That point. I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want your. How many times has a championship match ended in double disqualification?
Okay, maybe they didn't know that fans were gonna walk out. Yeah. But would you rather your show end on a downer if nobody was gonna be happy with that finish than people walking out of your show?
Now, no, a downer for the end of show would be a heel winning and beating the face would be a downer.
Okay.
That's the only way.
That's a good downer, though.
That's the only way you should end a show on a down note is when the heel beats the babyface.
Right.
Now this one, a double disqualification
with
a low blow, which prolongs a stale feud because their matches haven't been good. That would have been. There's no way you could end the show on that.
How many times has a WWE Championship match been the main event and hasn't finished been a clean finish? Like, for example,
there's been a few, but you don't want to do that all the time.
No, but I'm just saying, it hasn't happened a lot.
Yeah. You want to save that for stuff that actually would matter, like they both fall through the ring or something like that.
Okay,
a double count out from a double groin.
But what
kick
about this
in a no DQ match? You don't want to see that happen at the end of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but
you don't want to. I mean, because people are paying money to see outcomes.
But how many times have they done that before, though?
They've done it, but they don't want to do it all the time.
But I'm saying they don't.
Because they do it, they've done it before. That gives them a reason to keep doing it.
No, but I'm saying they don't do it a lot anymore. Yeah. They don't do it a lot anymore. And my point is what I'm trying to get at is what, like, for example, I was trying to use this as an example. Judgment Day 2000. The Rock and Triple H in an Iron Man match.
Okay.
And it's towards the end, and it's a tie, or no, I think it's a tie. I don't remember that, but DX comes out and just jumps the Rock, and it's just chaos. And then the Undertaker comes out and all this other jazz. Okay. It's the same kind of.
No,
it's not the same thing.
You know why
it's not the same thing?
Because there's action that ends the show, and then it gives you excitement. Right. It has run-ins. It has appearances by The Undertaker. Everybody loves The Undertaker.
Okay.
If Undertaker would have came out and kicked both of them in the nuts, and then
I agree.
It ended that way.
I agree, but
that would have been a way to finish.
But I'm trying. My point is I'm trying to say, how many times has there been run-ins with stuff that Triple H does with factions and all that?
A no finish. Right?
Yeah, there's just the point of being no finish.
The point you said right there was run-ins. The championship match between Nakamura and AJ Styles had no run-ins. Had no excitement to end that match. All it had was a double groin kick, which ended in disappointment towards the crowd. The crowd were disappointed for that.
But it's different. It's the difference being, the run-ins and then the
you're just saying it right there. It's different.
Yeah, but there's still no finish.
Yeah, but there's excitement that makes it into a no finish. There wasn't excitement from a double groin kick and having them go 1.
All right, fine.
3. How come they're not getting up? 4, 5. I don't think they're gonna get up. 6, 7, 8. They're not getting up. 9, 10. Double disqualification. This thing goes on.
All right.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So like I said, if there was Undertaker showed up and kicked them both in the nuts, I would have been okay with that. That could have ended the show. But because it was a lame non-finish, I could see why they put it on early.
We're talking about that match
they could have found
they
could have found something more exciting to put on the main event, but we got stuck with Roman Reigns versus Mojo in an okay match. I thought it started off hot with the Uranagi through the
the table. Oh, they didn't even get the match started, and he just knocked him out.
I thought it started.
Oh yeah,
very hot.
It did, and I had somebody tell me on Instagram that Backlash was a terrible show, which it was bad.
I mean, compared to other shows recently, it wasn't
as great.
The shows are like right here. This one is below the average,
right?
Which can be considered a terrible show. I wouldn't say it was the worst show ever because it had some great high points, like the opening match, and it had the Daniel Bryan Big Cass match was good.
I don't know. It was just somebody was telling me that this match wasn't. I mean, not this match. The show wasn't good, but like I said, they were hot from the opener when they introduced the show. Mm-hmm. They were hot when Samoa the first match.
You know what would have changed that match or this whole show? The whole perception of the show was if Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles fought last, and it didn't end in a double count, a non-finish. If we would have had a winner in that match, no one would be saying, "Oh, this match was terrible."
Yeah.
Or this show was terrible.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Like I said, I was trying to just say that this show wasn't bad.
Yeah.
To your point, nobody would. I think people would be happy if it had a finish to that title match, but I don't think that the fans were completely out of this show up until that point because. They seemed like they were really hot. They were hot at the beginning. They were hot during Samoa Joe's promo backstage. Yeah. They were hot when his music hit and he came out. Yeah. They were hot just when he just did that brutal beatdown through the table.
And what killed the crowd probably was all the rest holds.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Those rest holds were too long.
Yeah.
He went into it a couple of times.
Not enough action, and we all saw the writing on the wall.
It was
which was Roman Reigns was gonna win.
Yep.
For a second there, I was hoping when Samoa Joe had him in the clutch that he was going to win, but
Samoa Joe had this whole match for the match was, I would say, it would be 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And for the first 10, maybe 15 minutes out of this whole match, he had the offense.
Yeah.
And still.
Yeah. I mean, Roman he had Reigns him in the clutch. And it looked like Roman Reigns was going to pass out, but then Roman Reigns wakes up and then turns over.
There was CM Punk chants. There was people saying "beat the traffic" chants. There was Rusev chants.
You both suck. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There was people saying that it was boring.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you this: was this match bad? Was it just not good? Was it boring?
I think,
or the fans being just disrespectful.
I think it was probably a little bit of everything. To be honest, it was putting that match on last for nothing. Like they weren't fighting for a championship. They weren't fighting in a stipulation match.
Okay.
They were just two guys wrestling. One guy being Roman Reigns. Nobody really liking Roman Reigns. The style of match they wrestled, which was a very heavy on the rest holds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a hot start, got the crowd into it, but then
if it was going to be that hot, it shouldn't have been that stale.
They killed all the momentum with the rest holds. They killed the match with Super Roman. Super Roman moves.
I wanted to also ask you too, because I've heard this from guys before, is the heel and the veteran are the ones that are controlling the match and are in charge of making the match be good. Do you think that this is Joe's fault?
Because he was calling the match?
I mean, if he was calling the match, do you think that it was...
I think maybe they didn't call the match. Because sometimes in WWE, Vince has more control over how the match should go.
Well, I'm not saying how the match should go, but I mean, how the match should go. But
so I don't think you could blame the person who called the match if it was one of the wrestlers, and one of the wrestlers probably being Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
I don't think you could blame Samoa Joe for this. Like I said, it's just the rest holds, the fact that they weren't fighting for anything. There was no stipulations. And Roman Reigns was in the match. And then the crowd might have been disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff combined killed
Right.
the match. So, I mean,
Either
sometimes that's
way,
gonna happen.
this show ended on a downer and thumbs down.
Yeah, which basically Roman breaking out of the clutch, the coquina clutch, and then eventually spearing Samoa Joe for the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. He knew it was gonna happen. I mean, and it was like, meh, we knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything exciting that led up to it.
I think it's funny because I hear people say this all the time. It's a kids show, and it's entertainment for kids. But how many grown adults watch it? How many?
Yeah, you can't call it a kids show when adults, like people our age, have grown up with it and are still watching it. You know, you can't call it a kids show when there's fake violence in it.
Yeah.
You know. You can't. It's not a kid show. It's a show that it's for everybody. It's more geared towards everybody. It's not just adult oriented anymore like it was during the Attitude Era.
Right. But they could still see the way it is now. It seems like it's more of a. To me, it seems like it's more of a sport, and that's kind of where it's going.
Yeah.
In a way. Which I like.
Back to it being perceived as a sport.
Right.
It was like that back in the
day. It being presented like a sport is better, and I think that it's more. It could be more for fans like our age and people like us.
I think that's what that's where it's going.
It's aiming for the demographic of people from 20 to.
Vince loses his grip on it, like either because he's too old to run it. I think that's what Triple H wants to get it to. Because of their partnership with ESPN.
Yep.
And they're trying to make it perceived as more of a sport, which is probably the way to go. I mean, not too much like a sport, but...
No, just the presentation.
Yeah, sport aspects.
Right.
So, I don't know. All in all, the show was just... Yeah. Like I said, if one match outcome could have changed the whole perception on that show.
Yep. Jeez, I couldn't believe I actually I read it before I saw the ending of the show. Mm-hmm. There's people walking out. No, I even saw a picture.
The only time I saw
of
that
an empty section
was right at the end of the match when they cut to the crowd reaction.
Yeah,
I saw people already walking and leaving.
Dude, during a sleeper hold, during a headlock.
Yeah,
I saw people walking out.
Yeah.
I saw a picture online in the corner, in a section where you can't see on the hard cam. It was like somewhere off the hard cam. Mm-hmm. There was a whole section gone.
Yeah. Well, that could either be an eye opener for Vince, or Vince could dismiss it as, which I've heard might be the case, is him saying, "Oh, they're just trying to beat the traffic. It was already pretty late. East Coast time. It was like 11:30."
Yeah.
So, kids have school the next day. People have work the next day. They're leaving early. So he either
BS.
He either sees it as that, or you could see it as an eye opener that Roman Reigns.
That's BS. I don't believe that at all.
Is not drawing. It's not. It's not, because if it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, people would still be there. People would still. They'd be like, "Oh, I'll call off tomorrow. Or I'll go in late." They would be there.
That was a different time with a different person.
Even if it was AJ Styles wrestling at the end, people would still be there to see that finish.
Yeah.
People didn't... like I said, I
get your point.
There was nothing to invest people into that match. Nothing. So
to stay late? That was a long show, too.
It was like a half hour longer. Yeah. But, like I said, no stipulations. Crazy... Like that could have been a no DQ match. Or a cage match. Or... some kind of weapon-fueled match that would have stimulated the crowd to stay there to see what would happen.
Right.
A championship being wrestled for would have had people stay there to see what happened.
There was nothing motivating the fans to stay.
Yeah, and then people, probably half of that crowd already hated Roman Reigns anyway, so why would we want to stay and watch somebody we don't like against somebody we do like? I mean, no, there's no reason.
Well... I don't know. It's whatever to me. I've moved past it. I've moved on. Well,
the next pay-per-view is what? The Extreme Rules?
Money in the Bank.
Oh, Money in the Bank.
June 17th, Money in the Bank.
Oh, I think Extreme Rules is in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll probably do a couple of
6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
5 weeks,
yeah,
I think.
we'll probably do some shows in between, maybe talking about big news or other things, maybe topics that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So
that was our Backlash review.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
Please
what else to
like,
say.
comment, subscribe, and share. Yeah, and hopefully the next show's better.
Yeah. Well, catch us on Instagram at Madmen of Wrestling.
Madmen of Wrestling on Instagram. So this has been Jake.
I'm Victor.
And we are the Madmen of Wrestling. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.